Hey, what's up guys? Kai here, and welcome back to Let's Play Breath of Fire. Before we head into Obelisk here to try and stop Jade from using Tyr's unlimited cosmic power, as it were, let's take a look at the setup I'll be using. Even though the only person who really matters is Ryu, and I'll explain why a little bit later on, I figured I would show off my equipment for anybody who might be playing along or curious as to what I'm using. Yeah, it's virtually identical to what I've been using for a while now. But you got dragon equipment and the life armor on Ryu for maximum physical defense. Karn is the same as he's always been, and I personally really like the dark bracelet on him for the extra boost in luck and critical hits, but you can go with whatever you prefer. The accessories are not that important, really. Nina, also the same as she's always been, and with Blue I actually wanted to bring the power armor. And again, I'll go over this a little bit later on, but you will want to have something to replace the Earth Rib with. Now, as far as the shield is concerned, her light shield that Nina also wears, technically there is a better one called the Mask Shield. In fact, everyone can equip it. And the problem is, the only way to acquire that is through Gobi's Flea Market minigame, and at this point, it is totally not worth it, in my opinion, to invest the time into farming those, so I don't really care. And my inactive party members are inactive for a reason. As for items to bring, you want to bring cures and life 2s. You want to bring a couple AP restoring items just in case. And I'm going to bring the water jar. And the reason is because when we went back to get Agni, we stepped into the mystic water and it refilled the water jar here. And you can tell because there's an apostrophe at the end. And basically it's a mega elixir, it's a full heal to your whole party. So that's very nice. That could definitely come in handy here. Restocked on marbles, and got the trident, the icy cane for battle use, and you also want to bring the broken sword, because remember, if you have that with you when you beat the game, you get a little Easter egg. So I want to show that to you guys. Alright, let's head into the final dungeon of the game. For real this time. What do you mean you don't believe me? Oh, right, we need Mogu in front. Got to arbitrarily make him feel useful, or make him relevant to the game. I still don't think he's useful in combat. Like, I tried. I have a separate file, I got him leveled up, I gave him the best gear in the game, and he's nothing special, so I don't know, maybe one of you guys see him in a different light than I do. So for this area, which is another galactic Milky Way, we're going to use Marble 3s because, at least for right now, all of the enemies here are the same as they were in Pagoda, and even Scanned, so I'm not going to bother fighting them. You just want to use the same tactics that you have been using against them. And I also don't care about my levels, because I'm perfectly able to beat the game as it stands. Speaking of Milky Ways, man, I had one of those on break last night for the first time in a couple years. I forgot how good those are. Oh god, they're so soft and chocolatey. Oh. I gotta stop eating those. I'm gonna get fat. Alright, so anyways, let's come down here. By the way, if I sound a little different today, viewers, that's because yesterday I finally received my desk that I ordered, and, well, my setup is in a different location. By the way, that platform to the lower right will take you to the end, but we don't want to go there just yet. So yeah, not only did that show up yesterday, but I had to play Mad Scientist for an hour trying to assemble the fucking thing, which was interesting because as soon as I look at the instruction manual, right on the first page it says, you will need 2 people to assemble this desk. But I managed to get that set up, and it's an L-shaped corner desk, or a unit, a workstation, as they're technically known as. So now I have my computer on one side, my extra TV with my PS2 and PS3 on the other side, capture card right in the middle, so life is good. Yeah, I'm really stoked for this new setup here. Anyways, down here we get a flame hammer for Ox if you're using him. You can also use that as an item in battle to deal, I think it's 40 or 50 damage to the enemy. Yeah, thanks game. Thanks a whole lot for giving an item that deals 40 damage at the end of the game. Anyways, now we want to do a little bit of backtracking here. For a final dungeon, this place is pretty straightforward. No more mazes, No more disappearing foregrounds or anything like that. You just kind of follow the intended path and you'll get where you need to go. Alright, looks like we made it to Gouda, or Gouda, whatever. I'm just gonna call him Gouda because I like thinking of Gouda cheese. That stuff is pretty good. Well, we are trying. Let's do this. Wait, what? So you challenge us and then you run away. Okay. Let's follow him, see where he's going. Maybe it's a trap, and he's just leading us to our death. Alright, before we go any further, I actually want to unfuse Karn for this one. What? Who's talking? I don't see anything. What the? Something's coming out of the wall! Oh man, no one's gonna get that reference. Kinda looks like the Thing from the Fantastic Four. Although, to be honest with you guys, just like Superman, I don't know much about the Fantastic Four. Not a big fan. Although Silver Surfer was pretty cool. At least, I think that's from the same universe. Anyways, against this Mega Man reject, we're gonna use the almighty Agni form to see how ultimate this ultimate power really is. Now remember, this takes your entire party to use, so Karn cannot be fused. And it basically turns Ryu into a godlike one-man army. He gets maximum HP, and he always deals maximum damage. So we're just going to go into auto battle here because I've already shown you the entire fight. The only thing Gouda does is attack Ryu for like 30 damage, and that's it. He has no spells, nothing interesting going on. It's literally a back and forth slugfest. All you do is trade blows over and over and over again until you win. And as such, I'm just going to fast forward. Just blast through this. Alright, get him into a second wind, and you rinse and repeat. Alright, there you go. Yeah, I wish that battle could have been more exciting for you guys, but it's not. I beat you because you only hit me for 20 damage every round. So I asked you guys on Facebook how I should handle not only that battle, but the remaining boss battles in the game. And a lot of you said that, yeah, just go ahead and fast forward through the boss fights. By the way, all of these platforms take you to the same place. I don't know how that works, since they all go in different directions, but take my word for it, guys. So yeah, I'm just going to show you how the fight essentially works, and then just blast through it, because really, I can't think of any other way to do it. I'm not going to sit there for 20 or 30 rounds doing the same thing over and over again, when I can just fast forward through it. By the way, you can fight some new enemies here, so I'll show off a few of the battles in this area. Okay, this is not a new enemy, and I forgot to fuse Karn, of course. Lenneth, get down. Get down, honey. Thank you. So, oh yeah, these guys, I'm gonna paralyze them, and hopefully Blue can kill them instantly. And actually, this strategy here is what you're going to be using for a lot of the enemies in the area, because they all just have a shit ton of HP. There's one enemy I can think of that has like 4,000 HP. It's ridiculous. So yeah, getting back to the boss fights, I think that's the best way to handle it. I mean, I guess that guy's a bad example because technically you could fight him with your whole party. You don't have to use Agni against him. But even if you're dealing damage with your whole party, which collectively would make the battle faster, you know, inputting commands for that many characters, you know, over the course of 10 or 20 rounds is not only tedious, but it ends up taking just as long as using Agni anyways. Besides, as a commentator, I can't think of shit to talk about for 20 or 30 minutes straight. don't have the patience that I did when I was a kid. When you get as old as I am, that happens. You know, take grinding for example. When I was a kid, I used to love grinding in RPGs, but now, not so much. Yeah, a little bit here and there, it's to be expected. I mean, we're playing a JRPG. We got a new enemy here. The Ruga, and this is the enemy I was actually just talking about, who has like 4,000 HP. So you want to paralyze him, which will hopefully give Blue enough time to kill him, and keep our party out of harm's way. Or you can just one-shot him right from the get-go. Man, that rub spell is so good. So good when it works. But yeah, like I was saying, grinding in RPGs, it's pretty much expected. I just don't have the patience for it anymore like I used to. Same goes with boss fights, you know, 5 or 10 minutes for a boss fight, max. Anything more than that, and I think it gets a bit too ridiculous. Unless it's one of those, like, special, optional super bosses or something like that, you know. In special certain situations like that, okay, fine. You know, it's justified to have a boss fight take that long to get that epic feel across, but I mean, when you're literally just doing the same commands over and over for 15, 20, 30 minutes, then nah. Not happening, bro. What am I doing with Karn? Not what I should be doing, that's what. I guess Paralyzed didn't work too well since he's still moving. Yeah, I wish the final battles could be more climactic, but, well, that's not the case. They're very uninteresting, so I'm just gonna be blasting through all of them. Oh well. It's kind of a shame, because up to this point, the boss fights were actually pretty interesting, you know? Damn it. Thanks for buffing yourself when it makes no difference whatsoever. Yeah, increasing your defense not going to help you against an instant death attack. At least not in this game. Although RNG seems to be in your favor. Even if it takes you, say, 3 or 4 tries to get Rub to work, it is still worth it in my opinion. It is the most cost-efficient way to deal with these enemies. And you know what? Paralyze isn't really working, so we'll deal some damage with Nina. It's a good thing I decided to do that and not go for Paralyze. And you know what? I'm just going to go back to using Marble 3s. The only other enemy here is a Golem, or Golem, however you want to pronounce it. And again, you just want to go with instant death. Besides, we're in the final dungeon. We can't hold anything back now. If you got items, use them. Although I am pretty bad about, like, hoarding all of my items, especially the really good items. I could hang on to, like, elixirs and shit for the entire game and just never use them, and there's really no reason why. I'm just one of those people that just doesn't use them. Alright, guys. Before we go any further, let's make sure we're all healed up. Yes, we are. And now you want to give the power armor to Blue. And you want to give the earth robe to Ryu. Alright. Oh, wait, his AP actually is really low, so we want to get that up. Okay. Jade! We meet at last! Oh no, I've played Dragon Warrior. I know where this is gonna go. If I say yes, you're gonna freeze my game and corrupt my save data. No way. Actually, if you say yes to him, some interesting things happen. You kind of sit around for a few minutes, and then Jade is like, oh, I'm bored, why don't you entertain me? And he makes you fight some monsters. And there are some monsters that you can only fight in this situation. But I don't think they're unique enough to warrant showing, and they don't give you any special rewards, but it's something you could check out if you want to. Well, that is too bad, but not for us. So that's what Jade looks like when he comes out of his cocoon. Alright, so this boss fight. Do I not have enough? It costs... Oh, Karn is fused. Motherfucker. Alright. Karn. Damn. Karn, unfuse. So this fight, again, I'm going to go with Agni. And the reason I gave the Earth Robe to Ryu is because when you're in Agni's form, the only person whose equipment matters is Ryu's. And if Ryu has the Earth Robe equipped when you transform into Agni, you will absorb all elemental spells. And you can already see how ridiculously overpowered that is, and how it just completely trivializes any difficulty that this fight will throw at you. So, transform into Agni. Jade will throw his balls in our face for minimal damage. And this is how it's going to play out. We're just going to attack him every round. Eventually he'll do some other physical attacks for minimal damage. And then when he tries to use Lightning Bolt, he will actually heal us. And that's it. The only potential threat to this fight is if he uses Shock on Ryu, which he can do. Although he usually doesn't. So now, once again, I'm just going to fast forward so we can get this over with. If your HP does happen to drop to about 300, you'll want to cancel Auto Battle and use a Cure. Alright, easy enough. Well, not really. It was pretty boring, to be honest. What do you mean? It is your destiny. So then why did you fight us if you knew you were going to die? Huh. Alright, well before we head on to meet Tyr, let's come over here to get the Emperor's Sword, the most powerful sword in the game for Ryu. Let's check that out. In comparison to the Tri-Ring, yeah, it's like 100 points better. It has a max attack power of 255. And the only thing that rivals it is the mallet for Ox, but you only get that at the flea market, so whatever. Let's give Ryu the broken sword, though. And come over here to get the Star Hammer, a really good weapon for Ox, but even better is if you use it as an item in battle, it deals 400 damage to all enemies for free. It is amazing. It's also amazingly bad that we don't get it until we're like 3 minutes away from fighting the final boss. Oh well, it's there all the same. Perfect music for meeting the goddess. I love this mystical music. Hey, there's just a little girl here. What's going on, game? Sure. Money, power, how about that delicious booty? Oh, okay. Hey, it works in Grand Theft Auto. You get laid, you get healed. But can we defeat Tyr, the goddess of destruction, and save the world? You guys will just have to wait until next time to find out in the finale of Let's Play Breath of Fire. But until then, as always guys, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good day. Take care.